I was sitting in the movie theater with big tears rolling down my cheeks when my 10-year-old son leaned over to me and quietly whispered, "Mom, are you okay?" Full of concern, I nodded and I assured him I was just fine and that my tears were tears of joy. What I could not explain to him in the hush of a dark theater was my overwhelming sense of relief as I hung on every moment of the IMAX feature called Deep Sky, a film about the James Webb Telescope. I sat in awe, completely mesmerized by the breathtaking images we were looking at. For the first time, we saw galaxies and stars from billions of light years away, revealing the incredible dance of this universe that we call home. These images evoked in me a sense of awe, of wonder, and humility. Looking at the universe from that distance made me realize how small and perfectly insignificant we are in the vastness, but also just how interconnected and magnificent everything really is. There is something profoundly spiritual in that distance. When we step back from the everyday, we gain a new appreciation of all things, for the beauty of the world and for the fragility of life itself. Abraham Joshua Heschel once wrote, "Our goal should be to live life in radical amazement. Everything is phenomenal, everything is incredible. Never treat life casually." This sense of amazement, this ability to see both the ordinary and the extraordinary as one, this is at the heart of what it means to reflect during this Jewish month of Elul. We step back to marvel at the world, but also to take a closer, more honest look at ourselves. And yet, I certainly know how difficult this can be. In our daily lives, how often do we really pause to see the bigger picture? So many of us, myself included, get caught up in the constant stream of information, of tasks and expectations. Social media, of course, in particular, distorts our vision. We project versions of ourselves that are polished and curated, edited to emphasize our successes and perhaps even hide our struggles. We scroll through other people's lives, seeing only their highlights, and we compare our real, unfiltered selves to these illusions. But the curated version isn't the full truth, and it leaves us disconnected from others, from the world as a whole, and most importantly, from ourselves. In her book entitled The Amen Effect, Rabbi Sharon Brous writes about this. She writes, "To experience the fullness of life requires a willingness to face both the beautiful and the broken, the joy and the pain. But social media is like a telescope turned the wrong way. It distorts things, gives us the illusion of closeness to others, while leaving us completely disconnected from ourselves. The truth is, it's in the messy, unedited moments of our lives where we discover who we are, truly, and what matters most. Elul is that Jewish invitation to remove all the filters, to look at ourselves, our successes, our failures, our joys, and our struggles with both honesty and compassion. I recently dove into a very famous book that most of you probably read many years ago called 10% Happier. And I can't stop talking about it. My colleagues will tell you. In his book, journalist turned guru, author Dan Harris, talks about mindfulness as a way to gain perspective. He writes, "The voice in my head is often unkind, judgmental, and hypercritical. But it's mindfulness that has allowed me to step back and see that voice for what it really is. I found this to be so true. When I step back, whether through meditation, prayer, or simply taking a walk, I start to see myself more clearly. He's on to something, Dan Harris. This practice of stepping back, of creating distance between ourselves and the noise, the constant noise of everyday life, is precisely what this month is about. It's a time to pause, to reflect, and to see clearly who we've been so that we can chart a path for who we want to become. In this month, we are given an opportunity to reflect uniquely on the year that has passed. Have we lived in alignment with our true selves, or have we been too preoccupied with how we are perceived by others? Have we been present for and present to the beauty and complexity of our lives, or distracted by somewhat superficial concerns? Elul is our call to zoom out and recalibrate. We are asked to realign with our core values, to reconnect with our authentic selves, and to engage in teshuvah, to return to what is most essential. As I reflect on my year that's passed, I'm reminded of the cosmic perspective I felt when looking at those stunning images from space. In the vastness of time and space, we are small, but the way we live our lives day to day matters deeply. The love we give, the justice we pursue, the compassion we show one another, all of it leaves a lasting impact on the world around us. And so we have just 12 more days to engage in this holy process. So I would like to humbly suggest that each of us take a step back in order to see ourselves and to see the world from a distance. Not just to see the beauty of the universe, but to see the beauty that exists in our own lives, our broken lives, our real lives. For each of these 12 days, I invite you to try to live in radical amazement, as Heschel urges us, even if just for a moment, to embrace the fullness of who we are and who we could potentially become. To look at ourselves and maybe even the world around us with new, clearer eyes. May this Elul bring you clarity, peace, and a deep sense of connection to yourself, to others, and to the world around you. And as we prepare for the new year, may each of us walk forward with open hearts, a clearer perspective, and a renewed sense for the wonder of the vastness of the universe. Shabbat Shalom.